More and more people in the capital region are flocking to COVID-19 vaccination sites amid the spike in new infections. Only a few people turned up at the Manila Bay Dolomite beach as it reopens to the public. The Supreme Court has ordered the preventive suspension of lawyer Gadon over his viral video hurling profanities at a journalist. And sports fans are slamming the Philippines Athletic Track and Field Association, or PATAFA, for dropping Olympic pole vaulter Obiena from the national team. And BTS members RM and Jin have fully recovered from COVID-19. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Sean Yao. More and more people are lining up for vaccines amid the sudden increase in COVID-19 infections. First-time vaccinees are also not taking any chances, especially with the threat of the Omicron variant. Greg Gregorio with the rest of that story.
Many residents lined up at as early as 8 a.m. in the Earest High School in Manila to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Among them is Annalyn, who took a leave of absence from work to get her booster shot. She says she needs the extra protection amid the recent spike in COVID infections.
Talagang napakahalaga dahil sa kumakalat ngayon na virus na parang mas mabilis. Noon parang ayaw ko pero nung katagalan parang naano talaga ako kasi padami.
Marlon meanwhile closed his business today to get his booster dose.
As what WHO is telling us and what's happening, talagang kailangan natin yan, lalo na kami senior citizens. Mayroon mang Omicron o wala, kailangan talaga mag-booster.
Health officials have seen an increase in the number of vaccinees since yesterday. On Monday, they vaccinated 1,200 people, much higher than the initial 500-dose allocation. Dr. Restituto Aguilar, head of the vaccination site, said this number now includes those who were initially hesitant to get jabbed, like Vern and Dennis, who just got their first shots today.
Since na marami na po ako nakitang nabakunahan na wala naman po nangyari, so nag-decide na rin po ako magpabakuna.
Rider kasi ako eh. Yung una kasi hindi naman na-require sa amin yung vaccine. Pero ito ngayon nagkahigpitan na.
The health department says more than 10 million people have been fully vaccinated in Metro Manila alone, but there are still 1 million eligible individuals who are hesitant to take the shot, mostly seniors and minors. DOH NCR Director Gloria Balboa says the increase in the number of vaccinees is a welcome development, considering that the region has been brought back under high-risk classification for COVID-19. Meanwhile, the vaccine expert panel says the public shouldn't be concerned about a study abroad which says that a combination of Sinovac and Pfizer is ineffective against the Omicron variant.
Pero hindi lang naman yun ang protection natin. First line of defense talaga siguro antibodies, especially against the spike. So pero may second line of defense tayo. Ito yung T-cells.
The DOH earlier pressed the need to get vaccinated regardless of the brand, as 85% of those getting hospitalized for COVID-19 are either partially vaccinated or unvaccinated, while 93% of those who died were either partially vaccinated or not vaccinated at all. For News 5, Greg Gregorio, we are One News.
And unvaccinated individuals in the NCR are now barred from trains and other forms of public transport. But authorities do admit that implementation remains to be a challenge. Gerard de la Peña with the story.
The LRT administration has set up a random rapid antigen testing venue at Cubao Station for its personnel. By Wednesday, it will also be available for passengers.
Of course, hindi naman natin pwede kasing i-test lahat yan. Sa dami niyan, it's impossible. So the best thing that we can do is yung random testing.
The no vaccine, no ride policy is also now being implemented as mandated by the Metro Manila Council. Rosie, who left her vaccination card, will have to look for other ways to get home.
May ibang way naman siguro.
The MRT management, meanwhile, is completing the procurement process for rapid antigen test kits. Random testing will begin next week for volunteer passengers in exchange of free rides. But the MRT has yet to implement the no vaccine, no ride policy.
Meron pong resolution na lumabas today ang MMDA at ang mga LGUs, no, yung mga mayors po, at fully supported kami dyan. Yan po ay co-coordinate namin sa MMDA para po sa maayos na pag-execute po.
For buses, the LTFRB is counting on operators and terminal managers, especially at the PTEX and EDSA busway. But the agency admits it will be difficult to be implemented on jeepneys.
Even if we feel that all the enforcement agencies or enforcement personnel natin, hindi pa rin siya mako-cover lahat. Tulungan na lang natin yung ating pamahalaan.
Meanwhile, over 80 employees of PNR have tested positive for COVID-19 after undergoing antigen testing. At least 40 MRT employees are likewise infected, but authorities said operations are not yet affected. For News 5, Gerard de la Peña, we are One News.
And the PNP-CIDG has formally filed a complaint against Gwyneth Chua, who is popular for violating quarantine protocols by attending a party in Poblacion, Makati. Chua will be facing charges for violating the mandatory reporting of notifiable diseases and health events of Public Health Concern Act. Her parents, her boyfriend, and 5 hotel staff will also face raps. Chua's close contacts who attended the Poblacion party are not included in the charges. Chua is now finishing quarantine in an isolation facility in Metro Manila. We're going to pause for a quick break, but we will be back with more stories after that. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Stricter COVID-19 measures are in place as the Manila Bay Dolomite beach reopens to the public. Shaila Francisco tells us more.
The Manila Bay Dolomite beach is once again open to visitors, but only a handful showed up on the first day. Some of them dropped by to exercise and take videos. Among them is Kimberly, who took advantage of the almost empty beach.
Kasi po dahil po yung konti yung tao na dito po pumasok, naisipan ko po mag-TikTok para hindi po masyadong exposed po sa tao. Hindi po ganun nakakahiya.
Another visitor, Francis, enjoyed the sunny weather earlier today.
Sarap mag-relax. Pag nakapunta ka ng mas konting tao, parang advantage, walang photo bomber. Solo mo yung lugar.
As of 12 this afternoon, the Environment Department recorded only over 350 visitors, much lower compared to thousands last year. Aside from Metro Manila's shift to Alert Level 3, the DNR said stricter measures could have put off guests. Visitors are now required to register online 1 day before their scheduled visit to the Dolomite Beach. A QR code will be found on DNR social media pages. Visitors may also choose a schedule from 4 batches in the morning and 3 in the afternoon. Only 150 visitors per batch are allowed from the usual 300. All visitors must be fully vaccinated, while minors aged 11 and below are prohibited. Bringing off pets, food, and drinks is also not allowed.
While the Manila Bay Dolomite Beach is now open to the public and visitors can take pictures or even exercise, swimming is still not yet allowed. The DNR says they are still treating the water here in Manila Bay, but they hope to make it swimmable by first quarter of this year, especially as the water quality is now improving.
Despite health protocols in place, some groups have opposed the reopening of the Dolomite Beach. Pamalakaya said that this is a health risk for visitors, especially as COVID cases continue to increase. They also want DNR officials to be held accountable over the alleged breach of protocols, as they claim that this could be a super spreader event. On the other hand, the agency said that tourist attractions are allowed to operate under Alert Level 3 at 50% capacity.
We are working dito within the bounds ng restrictions na binibigay naman ng ating gobyerno. Our primary is safety and security naman ng lahat.
Walk-ins are still allowed as long as it is within the maximum capacity. Shaila Francisco, WR1 News.
And the Philippine Athletics Track and Field Association, or PATAFA, has recommended dropping Olympic pole vaulter EJ Obiena from the national team. In a statement, PATAFA said that it will also file an estafa complaint against Obiena in connection with his alleged non-payment of coaching fees to Vitaly Petrov. It also suggested terminating Petrov's contract as the national team coach and be charged for violating the Integrity Code of Conduct by World Athletics. PATAFA also implicated Obiena's mother, Jeanette, a former PATAFA auditor, for allegedly misappropriating funds. Philippine Olympic Committee head Bambol Tolentino called this a vengeful act and vowed to make sure that Obiena will stay in the national team for future competitions. BTS members RM and Jin have fully recovered from COVID-19. In a statement, the group's agency Big Hit said that RM and Jin have returned to their daily activities after receiving treatment from home. Big Hit also said that neither of the members exhibited any particular symptoms during their quarantine. On Monday, BTS rapper Suga was also cleared from quarantine after recovering from the coronavirus. BTS members also expressed gratitude to fans who have sent their well wishes for the group. And here's a quick look at today's other top stories. The IATF is putting Bulacan, Cavite, and Rizal under COVID-19 Alert Level 3 starting tomorrow until January 15. The provinces will join Metro Manila in the list of areas under the stricter alert level due to an increase in COVID cases. The Supreme Court has ordered the preventive suspension of lawyer Larry Gadon over a viral video with profanities being hurled against journalist Raisa Robles. Gadon is given 10 days to explain why he should not be permanently disbarred in connection with the footage. And the Supreme Court has shortened the duration of the upcoming bar exams due to rising COVID-19 cases. Instead of all Sundays of the month, the High Court decided to compress the bar exams to January 23 and 25. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.
Ng epekto sa iyo ng isang tao, mainam na umiwas ka na habang maaga pa.
Health is an investment, but it won't cost much because if you don't invest in